trailer looked alright. Who you gonna call? New Ghostbusters! By the time you watch this, you've already seen that trailer a bunch of times. As you can see, it's not a sequel. As you can see, it's not a reboot, but it is a reboot. So it's reboosh, like rebootish. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it because I love all 4 ladies that are in it. Well, that's not true. I love 3 of the ladies that are in it, and
you'll probably be fond of the 4th afterwards.
And what's her name? Just well, it's not. I like her in movies, but every time I try and watch Mike and Molly, I just want to smash my face against broken glass. But it's a movie, so maybe it's just Mike I don't like.
Melissa McCarthy is damn funny.
I know, I like her in the movies. When they come to like HBO, I don't go to them. But I only go to movies.
If they're comic book related?
No.
Generally?
I only go to movies if I feel that it's worth trying. If I can either bring my kids or if it's worth getting the babysitter to take the time and go, you know. It's a rigmarole. So it's got to be, oh my God, I need to see this. And
that doesn't happen often.
Yeah, there's not a lot of movies that just, oh my God, if I don't see this in the theater.
It's a Blue Beetle movie.
What the? I'm never leaving the theater. I am never leaving the theater.
You wouldn't.
They could get the guy who plays Mike and Molly to play Ted Cord, and I'd be like, God damn it, give me every
Still
ticket.
Going.
Because I don't know if it's art.
You have a sickness.
I know what I like. My Blue Beetles. All right, me, Mrs. Stay Puffed. We got some comical books to review. We got some churches to step on.
Stuff.
Yeah, we got things. I got like the little hairs on my mustache like curling up, and they keep poking me in the nose. So if you watch these videos and you think, does he smoke cocaine? You know, does he snort coke? Is that why he's constantly doing this? The answer is no. I did try to snort coke once and nearly drowned. I prefer to snort Sierra Mist. It's a little gentler, a little more natural in the nasal passages. Used to snort Perrier back, in the 80s when I wanted to be a yuppie, but really the only thing I had out of the yuppie acronym was the Y. I was young. I was suburban. I was a professional as shit, so I was a young suburban amateur. But Yasapis just doesn't flow.
Nope.
No flow. It's like half of my students that think they're gonna be rap stars. They got no flow. All right. Avengers Standoff, Assault on Pleasant Hill.
Very yellow.
It's very yellow. Inside there's a hidden cover. Normally I don't pay my money for the crossovers. I just read them for the reviews because I don't feel like spending $4.99 for bookends to a story that'll probably end on a note. But this one seems really, really good. And I paid my own money for it. Even if the story ends, meh, I don't care. Because the art is drawn by Jesus Sayas. And Jesus Sayas is like one of my favorite peoples to draw the comical books. I'm not sure why I'm singing, but at least I'm not yawning every 16 seconds, bitches.
You done now?
I'm not. This could happen at any moment. This is great. It's cap and cap and cap. It's like Cap Trace, because despite the fact that all these people on the cover, no, there's no Thor's here. There's no Iron Man's here, okay? There is only Cap Steve Rogers, Cap Sam Wilson, and, oh my goodness, Cap Bucky Barnes. It's the Cap trifecta. We need Johnny Walker up in there. Because he was, Captain America, and then the Captain, and then U.S. Agent. Well, no, he was Captain America and U.S. Agent because he just wore the costume that Steve wore while he was. And we need what's his name? What's Patriot's grandfather's name?
That's the one I was thinking of. Isn't it like Elias?
I was gonna say Elijah, right? Elijah. I don't remember what their last name is. Patriot. Wood. I don't know. But then we'd have like all the Caps that are, I think, still alive and not evil or something. Anywho, it was so good. As with most Marvel books, a bit continuity confusing. They have a monster in there that apparently has been mind wiped by S.H.I.E.L.D. and is, one of the old like 60s monster comics monsters. Has been mind wiped by S.H.I.E.L.D. and has been in this prison town for a while, despite having just appeared in the last issue of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Howling Commandos. So,
Hello.
I'm like, so there's a little bit of what's going on there. But at the same time, they make fun of Trapster, so that's always fun. And yeah, you've got the whole brainwashed community of villains. Here, stop singing it, I'm yours. Never review comics after wrangling felonious teenagers. But this was so good and just beautiful. Who did the writing? Is it Nick Spencer? Is it Nick Spencer? It's probably Nick Spencer. I'm gonna guess Nick Spencer, but I should probably look at a page. Yeah, because that guy is in the other thing. Come on, where's your page of... I know it took me forever to find it, but when I was looking for it, like, I was trying not to spoil the book for myself. Here we go. Yeah, Nick Spencer, writer, Jesus Sayas. Nick Spencer, continuing to surprise me by making me really, really like him on... He's one of those writers where, the things that I really, really like him on, I love him on, and the things that I don't like him on turn out to be...
Nick Spencer?
just turn out to be... Morning Glories. I just don't like that book. Whatever.
Ike.
Yeah, freaking Ike. Darth Vader. Don't lie to Vader. This is Darth Vader number 17.
No.
Don't bring Darth Vader, a disintegrated, mutilated corpse of the bounty that he hired you to find, and say, oh, that's the... Oh, because Vader goes... You're full of shit, and I'm Darth Vader, so you're dead.
Is that what Vader do?
Yeah, that's how Vader rolls. Doesn't matter, especially if you're dressed like, the dollar store version of Boba Fett. It's just not going to end well, I wouldn't lie to you. You would. You did. Choke. Did. They were used sparingly enough that I almost didn't hate the
droids.
Yeah, the sadistic R2 and 3PO counterparts. So instead I just disliked them, and I still just don't... There's no part of my brain that justifies Vader putting up with their shit. Oh, where? Humorously sadistic. No! It's just not. This book came in a bag. 'Cause sex.
Don't ever do that again.
You can see her bra and booby freckles. Peter Milligan and Leandro Fernandez bring us The Discipline.
First issue?
Yeah, this is number 1. It was good. You're left just as confused as she is. She's married to a man who ignores her. She's looking for something more exciting. And along comes the epitome of exciting. We don't know who's the good guy or who's the bad guy. The guy who seduces her seems to be the good guy, but he's also definitely fairly demonic. There's some ooh la la scenes. Ooh la la. But apparently, in order to become part of the discipline, it's like almost like tantric.
We got like an eyes wide shut situation going on then.
I don't know because I never saw Eyes Wide Shut.
Sex party.
No, not sex party, but more sex through. Sex is the key to power. We're left at the end of this wanting more. But I actually mean that in story, not just in the ooh la la pages. But you know, ooh la la is good. Ooh la la, good. My wife hates that. I do refer to sex as ooh la. That's not just me being stupid for this. That's me being stupid
Because you're
that's,
you.
That's just I'm stupid. As I refer to, oh, Pange. Tonight, perhaps the ooh la la. Or you look very ooh la la today. Ooh la la is not a thing. I've been saying it for
It's a character.
about 30 of my 44 years on this planet. I'd say it's a thing. Old Man Logan, no ooh la la.
Slashy slashy.
Because he's Old Man Logan. Yeah, very with the slashy. He teams up with the Kate Bishop Hawkeye, or as he calls her, the other Hawkeye. She takes offense. She's stopping him from his little murder spree. And then eventually the great build-up is this man standing in the doorways. It says next, Old Man Logan versus Old Man Rogers. But ultimately, as Kate points out, we know that Old Man Logan only ended up here post Secret Wars. They don't necessarily know that, but we do. And as she points out, look, one of the people you want to kill that you say in the future blinds Hawkeye is already dead. Banner is missing and isn't the Hulk, and you already figured that out. There are a handful of these differences. She's like, maybe it's not just a time thing that you're discerned. I don't think you're from our future. And I don't think you need to kill all these people, because I don't think this is happening that way. Avengers number 6, Uncanny Avengers number 6, is the scariest comic in the entire history of Marvel. Because, one, we find out that the reason this cover looks like this is Avengers Mansion is no longer owned by the Avengers, and the people who bought it out use it as, it's now like a cosplay-themed rendezvous hotel. So basically it's just filled with people dressed as Avengers, and a lot of them seem to be getting it on.
That ain't right.
In the meantime, Synapse encounters the Inhumans, since she is an Inhuman, and has to save Hellion. Who, we've got Hellion and we've got one of the Inhumans. There are two characters in the Marvel Universe who, for no reason to do with their actual powers, seem to have no hands but these little metal hands. So there's Hellion and there's I don't remember his name on the Inhumans, but it's neither here nor there for either story. This is just, I just thought, oh, interesting. Anywho, but yeah, here's a couple in bed in the hotel dressed as Vision and the Wasp. Like you do. But there's a pudgy Hawkeye who gets hit by the Wrecker.
Lord.
But in this comic, the reason I call this the scariest comic is nothing to do with the cosplay Ooh La La Mansion. But what it has to do with is the fact that, one, Deadpool does some altruistic and intelligent things here involving how he handles the situation. And two,
who's masquerading as Deadpool then?
while Red Skull has Charles Xavier's brain, the only one impervious to, as he so delicately puts it, the telepathic whammy, the psychic whammy. Our only hope to stop the Professor X-brained Red Skull is Deadpool.
Oh God.
Another castle, number 1. Beyond self-rescuing princesses, this is a self-rescuing, higher picture-seeing, grand scheme organizing princess. It was really good. Skeletor-looking dude wants to take over the regular castle, the regular kingdom. He's also responsible for the death of her mother. He likes to try and make people his queen. Nobody really wants to be married to the skull-faced epitome of evil.
So he's Ice King, but evil?
To an extent, yes. But she finds out that when there's a whole nother castle. I don't want to root it, but she finds out there's more going on to the fact that his evil minions are more minions, less evil. And they tend to suffer his wrath when things don't go his way.
Much like a minion do.
So she, instead of doing the just hack slash get out of here, save yourself route, is going to play the long game, so as to not have innocent minions suffer his wrath. Should that he just come and find that she escaped. So it's all really, really good stuff.
Sounds very heady in a good way.
Yeah. Art was beautiful. Story was good. This is Andrew Wheeler and Paulina Ganushel. Green Lantern number 50. Hal Jordan versus Hal Jordan. Dun dun dun. I forgot. I read this just because I was like, ooh, number 50, I'll take a look and see what's going on. But then I remembered, alright, and I wondered how this will help bring it to, because it seems like an obvious place for tying into DC Universe Rebirth event coming up. Post-Convergence, pre-New 52, Superman isn't the only pre-New 52 character running around the DCU. What? And if you want to be technical, somewhere out there is New 52 Wave Rider, who is actually pre-New 52 Booster Gold. But I don't want to think about that, because I want to think I can get my Booster Gold back somehow through all of this.
Anywho, point.
But the other pre-New 52 character still running around is Parallax.
Oh, crap.
Not like the demon-y Parallax, but the
Jordan
possessed
Parallax.
by the demon, uber-powerful Hal Jordan Parallax. And these two Hals meet and fight over Coast City. Meanwhile,
That didn't end well.
this
last
Hal's
time.
new power is not going quite the way he wants, quite the way he wants it to. But yeah, he chases off Hal Jordan Parallax, but they both kind of want the same thing, and are both willing to go to extreme lengths to get it, which is the protection of Coast City and everyone that they love. Just one of them happens to be possessed by a fear demon, like you are. Black Widow, number 1 by Wade, Samney, and Wilson. It's Black Widow, number 1 by Wade, Samney, and Wilson. The team that gave us my favorite Daredevil run in ever. Yeah, I'm counting the Frank Miller and Mazzucchelli stuff. What you got? Nothing. You know why? Because by the time you're watching this, I've been home for 2 days, and this is just a little thing on your interwebs. Don't kick my ass at conventions.
Buy my stuff.
Anywho, yeah, you don't have to buy my stuff. Bleebity. Not overwhelmingly wordy. but very stylized and feel. If you liked their Daredevil, you'll love this. If you didn't like their Daredevil, you must mean you didn't read it, because if you read it and didn't like it, then we're not talking. Go.
I think we're good.
Okay, everybody else. From the legions of fans watching this. Hi, Mom. My mom's not watching this. This was so good. So good.
Mine doesn't either.
Spider-Man. But yours likes stuff on my Facebook now.
Fair enough.
Spider-Man. We have 2 Spider-Mans. Makes me happy, makes me sad. Because what they do is bad. Because it almost seems to be completely undoing everything that happened in Spider-Man, the crossover. Because now nobody remembers that he's from another Earth, the ultimate world. Because if they did, that'd be heartbreaking to suddenly discover, oh my God, everyone I know is dead because I live on a planet full of all the original versions of those people. But, anyway. Looks like he'll be going up against the Black Cat. Apparently this is his big introduction to how they decide to let him into the Avengers. There's a flashback, a pseudo-flashback to their new first encounter, since Spider-Man couldn't really be remembered because they don't know that they were on other Earths. And interestingly enough, Sarah Pichelli does a kind of cartoony, not quite Scotty Young cartoony, but cartoony, sort of chibi flat version of the flashback, almost in a nod, and probably not almost, I mean her and Bendis are to the Ultimate Spider-Man show, where, you know, the cutaways are like that. It is good. Uncanny X-Men, number 4. These X-Men. It used to be a comic. It was a spoof comic. It came out in like the 80s, called the Uncanny X-Men. And it said X-Men, but it didn't have the hyphen, and it said pronounce X-Men, can't sue us, no hyphen. But other than that, it was the same exact logo.
That's so wrong, but funny.
We get a little more into the what's up with some of these bad guys, and what's up with the vacant shell that was Archangel. Also, Archangel is still looked upon in awe by the current Horsemen, which are called the Dark Riders, and are currently not
Under
actually working for Apocalypse. They kind of have their own sort of agenda. Also, what's his face is pretty badass. Who's the guy that at first wasn't really a character? It was Magneto in disguise, but now it turns out it's a character. Zorn, yeah. Which will always be weird to me because Zorn's spelled with a Z instead of an X, which I guess gets back to my X-Men joke. It all comes back. But Zorn spelled with a Z is a place on Long Island where you could go and buy, like, you get like poultry, you get chicken, and
okay, that is kind of weird.
And to take home and cook. And I remember going there around Thanksgiving, and they'd have like live turkeys in cages, and they would actually be getting ready to prepare them. And some people would buy them live and prep them themselves. And I was always horrified. And I always wanted to, get a lot of money and buy all the turkeys and like
set them free.
Yeah, just like have a turkey preserve. Sounds like the worst jelly ever. Turkey preserves.
Oh God, I'm just thinking.
Gobble it down.
The canned chicken and
turkey preserve.
I got now.
Tomboy number 4, Bloody Ecstasy. Continuing, Action Labs, Danger Zone. Man,
we can still hear you yawning.
I really need to sing everything. And it's warm in here. It's always warm in here. I don't do well in warm. We get a look at our bad guys and their interesting mother-son, no, not Game of Thrones style family relationship, just quirky. This book continues to be a lot of fun, very American manga, but like the darker replica number 4 from Aftershock. This continues to be one of my favorites. Taylor has figured out that one of his own clones is betraying him, But he's being shown up by his Sherlock Holmes Deerstalker hat wearing clone number 4, who, talk about an identity crisis. All of these clones are him. So a lot of them do different things because they want to forge out an identity and be separate from him. But number 4 really just wants to be the best him that he can be. And as a result, is a better him than him. And, there's a clone number 14, binge eats, because, he's just the 14th clone of, whatever. So they've all got their little whatevers. This book is just so good, and you should really check it out. And the art is gorgeous. Like, what's a good way to describe it? It's like, Brian, two completely different styles here, but there are bits in here that always make me think of, like Brian Bolland and Kevin Nolan. There's kind of a Fabok feel to it. It's just gorgeous. A-Force number 3. I saw a woman on the internet who posted her cosplay for Nebula? No. Singularity. Freaking amazing. Anywho, that aside, this book continues to be so much fun and just so good. Hopefully, the apparent death that takes place here is not legitimized. Otherwise, Aaron Halen is the saddest man on earth. Because one, it's always bad when it looks like they kill your favorite character, but it's worse when you named your daughter after that favorite character, and now you get to see people say that that your daughter's name is dead. That's gotta be weird. So Marvel, don't mess with Aaron in that way. But this is just as much fun. They had to find a way to make it work in the modern universe because it couldn't work the way it did in Secret Wars. But this book has been great, and I'm so happy to just read that. New Avengers number 7. Oh, the funs with alternate realities. The maker, evil Reed Richards, Scarface Reed Richards, brought with him the talisman of the White Tiger.
Oh.
But he gives it to the possessed, resurrected by the hand White Tiger from before her, and then steps back and
watches the chaos.
Yeah, in a very Godzilla way, let them fight. We also meet the Revengers, his team, and it's good. I wish they used Bobby more Sunspotty, but hey, what can you do? Pitiful Human Lizard, number 6. Pitiful Human Lizard and his mother. You want a diverse comic book? Here's a comic book in which the lead character is a half Asian Canadian, and he teams up with his the girl that he wants to be his girlfriend, Lady Accident, who isn't his girlfriend, and on the back she teams up with his hero, Mother Wonder, a black mother with superpowers who has to fight crime and then go home and save her kid and take care of her kids. So they don't get much more diverse than this. Plus, you get to say, half Asian Canadian. When do you get to say that ever? Maybe if you live in Canada. I don't. But it's just, but in comics, probably safe to say he's the only half Asian Canadian superhero going at the moment.
I can still see unicorn rarity for something like that, even in Canada.
I'm saying. Plus, I love this book. Like, it had me at the name, and every bit of it has been so good that, all right, we'll skip a few books and do something that we normally do at the end, at the not end. But Pitiful Human Lizard, Volume 1, trade paperback by Jason Liu, art and story by Jason Liu. So good that I bought the trade for comics that I literally only just got because it's like they all just came out. The same people who give you Captain Canuck. It's just so good. She's Barb, also known as Lady Accident. I mean, come on. This book is so good. Mother Wonder stories. It's just so. Toronto's busiest superhero, Mother Wonder. She's the busiest superhero because, like I said, she fights crime and then goes back and takes care of her kids. And the trade was only $19.95, and it collects Pitiful Human Lizard 1 through 5. Pitiful Human Lizard, Made in Chinatown, number 0 through 4, and Mother Wonder, Made in Chinatown, number 1. So, not sure how many of those things are. Boom, boom, boom. But this is just so much fun.
He's a good amount of stuff.
Rate it, because I said so. Action Lab, Dog of Wonder. Action Lab made a book called Action Lab, and I read it because I could. Action Lab is, just like their logo suggests, a Labrador with a jetpack.
Action?
And he goes around and saves animals from shelters where they put the animals down and from people who abuse the animals. That's what he does. He is a rescue dog in the most literal sense of the word. Also, just for no reason, this was so cute. My daughter got this at the at her school's book fair. This is DC Comics Secret Hero Society Study Hall of Justice. They've got it as a hardcover. Ooh, I didn't even know that that's a thing. I got the paperback at Scholastic. Now I'm kind of with the jealousness, but yeah, at the
Focus.
at the little Bruce Wayne is the new kid at the Alucard Academy and meets some rather familiar faces. Alright, this little company is called something. Overground Comics, is that them? Or is that? Yeah, Overground Comics. This is Plus Ultra. Plus Ultra is a superhero heroine who became a superhero kind of like through. She has an agent and she does all these things, but she's starting to feel that while it pays the bills, she's not feeling like she's being taken seriously enough, and they have her doing photo shoots in costumes that are just prop costumes, and she's barely staying in them in some of these poses. But then there's an actual supervillain encounter, and she has to fight them in this costume. And eventually, the girl she's fighting, who has like these electric powers, just goes, "You know what? I hate to do this. Sorry, you wrote this on yourself." Zaps the costume. She goes, "I know you can survive my blast. That costume can't. You said it's a prop costume." Zaps the costume, burns like the entire top half off. And now, while Plus Ultra is holding in her Ultra Pluses, she's able to get away. So now Plus Ultra is trying to take herself a little seriously. And I will say there's some mixed messages because it's good. But at the same time, as she eventually comes up with her new, more sensible costume, she goes from, when we first see her in this, and she's posing with whatever, and it's, she's trying to sort of hold the top on, but then what she decides is a more reasonable, more sensible costume, is this that now has a plus-shaped boob window, and still with the it's like she added sleeves. So I get what they're trying to say, but I think they missed the mark a little. Even with on the picture from the cover, apparently there's a mesh screen over but it's still it's still a boob window, which just seems to me that if you're trying to go with the I don't want to be the overly sexualized costume, then why would you go with a nod to the Power Girl costume that is like the poster costume for overly sexualized costumes. Also, the mixed signal of it, it has the ad for Girls of Geek on the back, with a whole bunch of, hotties. So, and I think each of them is a little more sensibly dressed than, they're all more sensibly dressed than the costumes within. Good book, but I'm not sure it's getting across the full. It's a great idea and a great concept, especially in, go on any chat room, go on any message board, go on any comic site, and go on any form of social media where there are nerds, and you will see these debates about the over-sexualization of women in comics. So it's the idea of a character who was like, "Oh, this is a great way to pay the bills," and then starts to realize, I'm more than this, is brilliant. But I think, unless they're planning on going baby steps, I think that they, that it's not as, I don't think they made quite the leap that that it seemed like she would make. And that's my thing. Hero Core Knights 1 and 2. These are from the same company. This is like their team. The Hero Corporation is a company. You can go to them and they will make you a super. They will give you. They will get you on the team, and they will get you sponsored. They can even give you powers if need be. And then you become a Hero Core Knight, and it's like almost like a more fully actualized. When Booster Gold left the Justice League and formed his own team, the Conglomerate. This is a company. They have like a board of directors. It's a corporation of corporate superheroes. What threw me is there's a woman who works just under the CEO of the company, who wants to be on the team, who, they showed acting very provocatively and whatever, and it kept confusing me because her name, it turns out, is Plus One. So you've got Plus One and Plus Ultra in the same universe, and that threw me for a bit, and I was like, but that's not even the same character. I'm like, because in Plus Ultra, she wears the wig when she's Plus Ultra. She actually has the shorter dark hair, but Plus One is blonde. I'm like, and it took me a minute to realize they weren't saying Plus Ultra; they were saying Plus One. And the final book in our review is Batman and Robin Eternal. Not quite as scary as Deadpool being the voice of reason. Of all the 4 Robins, the one who ties everything together in this, and is the voice of reason and maturity, is Damian.
Of course.
It is Damian who points out, look, my father believed in us, and we can doubt all you want, but, my father, believes in us. He believed in us, and therefore we should believe in ourselves. And it's all pretty good. But that's it for the reviewers. Say, Puff, you got anything to say? Come on, Buzz Buggy. He does.
Thanks for watching another video from Gonna Geek. If you like geeky stuff, check out our podcast network, our news and articles, and our community forums. You can find it all at GonnaGeek.com, like us at Facebook.com/GonnaGeek, tweet us at GonnaGeek, subscribe to our YouTube channel at YouTube.com/GonnaGeek, and check out our live programming at GonnaGeek.com/live.